Hello, my love. Would you like some words of encouragement right now? Maybe you're feeling a little doubtful. Maybe you're feeling a little anxious. Maybe you feel like your manifestations are not going to come into fruition in the way that you want. I got a little word for you right now. Let's shift out of it and get you back into your power, boo. Let's go. Welcome to the Refind You channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia Bradley. I'm a mindset and manifestation coach, and I'm here to help you naturalize everyday miracles. I have my master's in psychology. I have my bachelor's in education. I have done tons of research around metaphysics, neuroscience, epigenetics, psychology, all of the things, quantum physics, spirituality, specifically Christianity. And here we are. Here's my channel. And I've combined all of that knowledge plus my personal experience of traveling to hell on earth and back, round trips multiple times, to really see what the deal is, to see how the universe works, to see what the experience of God is, to develop that Godfidence, to help me get into my natural master manifestor flow with ease, with confidence, with knowing that everything is working in my favor. If you are brand new here, you can check out my activations playlist. I have lots of resources there to help you shift out of those old cycles of thinking, that old programming. It's really helpful, especially in the beginning stages of your journey of becoming a new you, of getting into that master manifestor flow. If you've been following me for a while and you're looking for a high level experience, check out my webinar below, or even email me at info@refindyou.net to learn more about my program. I have opened up re-enrollment, and I am so excited to help you if you are excited to help yourself, and if you're excited to blast into this new year as a new you, in a new timeline, in a new parallel reality where everything is different. I got you for that. That's my forte, darling. That is what I do. So if you want to join me and join the party and have a good time, let's do it. If not, maybe at a later date, but check out the webinar anyway. So today I had a conversation with a client. I wasn't even planning on making a video today, but that session lasted 2 hours, over 2 hours, because it was so deep, it was so real, it was so good and juicy, and I had to share one of the major takeaways we had during that conversation. To give you a little idea, not too much, but a little idea of this client, she is Christian, she loves her Christian faith, but she's not a churchy Christian, which many of us are not very churchy anymore, because church hasn't really done it for many people. Not bashing the church, but also just saying that solely going to church and thinking you're going to get everything you need and the whole experience of the divine in church, you might not have gotten it all. You may have even been traumatized, or maybe just felt rejected, or felt like you didn't fit in, or, there's a large spectrum of having been negatively impacted by religious institution or your religious affiliation. And so this client, she is a Christian, and she has identified Jesus as her Lord and Savior, but she's not the conventional, traditional Christian, right? So because of some of her bad experiences in the church, she's really been feeling confused and lost, even though she knows who God is, and she knows that God is everything and is within her and is around her and is running everything. But her faith and her ability to connect with God, to connect with that divine GPS system that is inside of her, and the ability to decipher what is truth, what is not, what is a deception of my mind, what is real, how do spirits move in my 3D, how do energies move in my 3D, because we know that we're not working with the physical only. The physical is just such a small, minuscule portion of our existence. Everything is energetics, everything is based in energy, and everything is spiritual, right? And so she came to me and came to the Godfidence Clinic to understand how to skillfully navigate her 3D surroundings, how to skillfully micro-shift herself into this divine creator in her life, partnering with God to co-create these miracles every single day. And some doubts came up today, doubts from her past experiences in love, specifically. And it was really interesting, and maybe you all can relate, because what came up during that conversation was that even though there were separate men that she had dated, right? But the experience with them was not separate. The experience of feeling unlovable, rejected, unchosen, a failure at love, the experience of feeling like she will never experience love in her 3D existence here, that was always a takeaway. But it was also this very kind of cold, mean energy to these men. And I know for you, whether you date women, men, both, if you can look in your past, the former version of yourself, in your past experiences, can't you relate to that? I know I most definitely can. How the people I dated, they all carried a very similar energy, and it evoked a very similar response in me. And even though we know that our programming and our core belief system drives what we're projecting out to the world, and that is reflected back to us. We know that on a scientific level. We know that on an energetic level, but let's talk about the spiritual level, okay? If we are carrying certain demonic influences that are telling us that we're not lovable, we're not needed, we're not wanted, we're not prioritized, that the world is mean and cold, that people that we try to love are mean and cold. Imagine, energy attracts like energy. Spirits that are moving through us and influencing us blindly because we're not seeing the deception, we're not seeing the lie. So we are basically absorbing these lies, which is also absorbing these spirits in our vessels and allowing them to guide us and allowing them to guide us towards other kin spirits out there, demons, we will call them, okay? So we're attracted to this same demonic influence, right? Now, on an even deeper level, there's an agenda. There's spiritual warfare happening every moment of every single day. And the agenda is to kill, steal, and destroy ourselves, kill, steal, and destroy our concept of love, our concept of God, our concept of who we are as master manifestors in this co-creative journey with God, to kill, steal, and destroy that by any means necessary. And these spirits will work through people to do so, okay? So we can hit it on all different levels. We can hit it on the quantum physics level. You can just keep it at energy if you want to. And if you want to do that, you probably don't want to watch the rest of this video because I'm talking spiritual today. But we can also hit this at the spiritual level. We can also hit this at the spiritual warfare level. We can also hit this at the level where spiritual warfare has been going on since the beginning of time. And so if you think about, is this attack just on me? Probably not. It's probably been on your family, on your lineage for generations, but you have been the one, and I'm sure other people in your family have been the ones to be called to finally rid ourselves of these demonic influences, of these demonic attacks, to expose the lie for what it is. And so during that conversation, we exposed the lie. And the lie was that even though all of these men were separate, they were all working with the same spirits. They weren't trying to, okay? So we're not going to call them men demons. People aren't demons, okay? We all have different energies moving through us at all different times. Sometimes demons work through me and influence me. I'm a lot more aware and clear and discerning of what energies are working through me now. But I'm not going to sit up here and act like it's only light beings that work through me all the time. We all have different energies and spirits that are working through us in any given moment. But the point of my videos, the point of my Godfidence Clinic, the point of my client sessions, the point of my Heaven on Earth VIP group, the point of all of the things that I do is to help expose the darkness and expose the demonic influences that are tricking us into illusions and deceptions and blindly guiding us and influencing us, because we don't have to be blind anymore. The moment you expose them is the moment they flee away. The moment you see them is the moment they leave. And many times these demonic influences can serve us because it brings about suffering and pain to the point where we have to awaken to the light. We have to awaken to who we are, right? We have to awaken to the truth, because it's either sit in suffering and be stagnant in suffering and the cycles of suffering, or it's awaken to my light body. It's awaken to who God is inside of me. And it's awaken to being able to defeat the mission and the agenda to kill, steal, and destroy my life. So we got to that part. She was able to expose the similarities. And so when she looked back in the past, the theme, there was a very clear energetic theme. Okay, so again, We are not only working with the physical, with the 3D, we are working with the spiritual, we are working with the energies. So in order to be able to discern the spirits, you have to feel your way through them. You're not going to see them because they're not in 3D form, usually, right? They work through energies. So in order to be able to feel the theme or the pattern of some of these, we'll call them demonic attacks, that have been happening throughout your history, whether in your love life, in your money life, in your family life, in whatever area of your life, in order to feel out the theme, you have to feel it out. You have to feel through it, okay? Because if you see all of the different faces, if you smell all the different aromas that these people carry, if you look at them aesthetically and see all the differences, it makes it a lot more complex than it really is. It's not that complex at all. It's not. You will see similarities and you will feel an overall energetic theme. And so tapping into the emotions that these people have evoked in you, tapping into the, just the energetic sensations you get from these people. That's how you can discern what spirits, which energies are you dealing with, so that you can expose them and release them. And those same spirits and energies are just complementing, matching the energies in you, right? That align with this frequency of, I'm not lovable, I'm not worthy, I'm not this. They align with the deceptions and the lies within you. Okay, so not only are you exposing it in them, but you're exposing the lie within yourself. And the moment it's exposed, you release it, right? Nobody in their right mind lives by a lie that they know is a lie. Most of us in our right mind live by lies that we think are truths, but they're really lies. So we're in our right mind because we're going by it. We think it's the truth. We see the pattern. Oh, I've had this bad experience in my dating life, or I've always been broke, or I always never get the job that I want, or I always live in crappy homes. That's the truth. So, okay, right? Based on the 3D, based on my experience, based on the track record, based on historical information, this is the truth. But it's not the truth. It's a lie. And so exposing the lie and seeing it for what it is, and a lie is anything that goes against what feels good for you, okay? I'm not lovable feels like crap. It's a lie. I'm not prioritized feels like crap. It's a lie. I always live in crappy homes. Doesn't feel good. It's a lie. I never get what I want. Doesn't feel good energetically, does it? So tapping into what it feels like in your body, what emotions are evoked when you think of these thoughts. If it's anything that makes you feel any bit anxious, stressed, sad, betrayed, fearful, scared, unsafe, then that means it's not of God. It's not of the truth. It is a lie. And so the scripture that we pulled up, that I pulled up during our conversation was, I'm trying to find it. John chapter 8, verse 44. And 44 has been popping up everywhere for me, so I knew this was meant to be. And then she gave me the Passion version of the Bible. So I'm going to read hers because I like it a little better. And then I'll read the, some ad popped up, y'all. Okay. And then I'll read the other version. Okay? Okay. 44. Boom. Okay, so I'll read the Passion version first. John chapter 8, verse 44. You are the offspring of your father, the devil. And you serve your father very well, passionately, carrying out his desires. He's been a murderer right from the start. He never stood with the truth, for he's full of nothing but lies. Lying is his native tongue. He is a master of deception and the father of lies. So then that led me to ask my client, so who's your father? Is the devil your father? Because even after all of the exposure that came up, there still was some fear, there still was some doubt, there still was some anxiety about the future, about a very particular manifestation that she would love to see come into fruition. There were still some questions there. There was still some angst. There were still some feelings of unsafeness. Even though we exposed the lies, we exposed the demonic agenda, we exposed it all. And we all get caught up in this. And that's why I'm so passionate right now telling you this, because even though we expose the lie, we are so caught up in the habit of living in the lie and blindly allowing the lie to run our lives that it takes a few moments to wake up, and it takes a couple questions from different angles. And the questions may sound very ridiculous, but sometimes it takes us to really activate that awakening, and we can really see it for what it is. And so I asked her, who is your father? Is the devil your father, like it says here? Because that is truth for many of us out here. Okay, this is not ridiculous. You are the offspring of your father, the devil. Even though we know we are the offspring of God, this right here, again, this is one of those things where it's like, let me say it in a way that you can hear. Let me say it in a way that's going to wake you up. Because I know when you read this, you're going to be like, you are the offspring of the devil. I'm not the offspring of the devil. Who said that? Why are you telling me this? I didn't say that. Who said that? That's the reaction. That's how you should be feeling right now. Are you the offspring of the devil? Are you believing the lies? Are you allowing these murderous, thieving thoughts and doubts to take over your life, to take over your mind to the point where you're allowing it to impact how you move in your world, to impact how you believe, to impact what you assume will happen in your world, to impact how you just are, how you feel on a day-to-day basis? Is it impacting your levels of anxiety, stress, panic within yourself? Are you having panic attacks? If you are, it's because you are allowing these demonic, super low vibrational thoughts, energies, entities to influence how you think and feel about yourself and about the world around you. We're waking up today. We're not doing that. We are not doing that anymore. So now I'll read the New International Version, if I can get it. Sorry, y'all. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. Yet because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Yet because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Are you believing the thoughts that you are worthy, deserving, abundant, wealthy, prosperous, loving, wanted, chosen, cared for, safe in this universe? Do you believe that, or do you believe the opposite? Black or white? White or black? We won't even use color. Do you believe the good, or are you going to believe the bad? Are you going to believe something that gives you hope, something that gives you a feeling of, yes, I can take a sigh of relief because I know deep down that things are good, that things are working in my favor, that I am loved? Or are you going to believe the opposite? Because up until this point, you may not have been believing what God is trying to implant in your mind, and God is within you. So God is actively working every single day to not only tell you who you are, but invite you to learn more about who you are, to invite you to learn more about how oh my gosh, just how much is here for you to experience, all of the goodness and the love on this earth. God is constantly inviting you to see that truth, but you have to believe it. You have to choose. Who are you going to choose? And I personally don't consider God a father or a mother, or God is just God. God is all things. Okay, so who are you going to choose to be your parent, we'll say, or your father, if that resonates for you, or your mama? Who are you going to choose? You get to choose. We don't get to choose our earthly parents, but we get to choose our spiritual parents. It's time to wake up, you guys. It's time to wake up. Can any of you prove me guilty of sin? If I'm telling the truth, why don't you believe me? Whoever belongs to God hears what God says. The reason you do not hear is that you do not belong to God. And guess what? You get to choose to belong to God like right now, okay? It doesn't mean that you are, you're damned for eternity and you don't belong to God. That I don't get that from that scripture. What I get is that you get to choose in every single moment. Who do you belong to? You get to choose your parent. Who do you want to parent you? And now that you're exposing the lies of the past, the lies of your current present, now that you're exposing the spirits, the energies that are moving around you that you may not used to be tapped into before, but now you are more and more tapped into what you're feeling, and you're able to discern energies around you now in ways that you haven't. And if you can't, watch my videos. This is free content. Watch my videos. I'm not the end all be all. I have a lot more to learn. Okay. So, but I do know that the things I say may resonate with you and may feel new to you. If you're attracted to my channel and if you enjoy my vibe and you know, we have this synergy here, the things I'm saying in my videos, I would hope and I pray and I affirm that they are feeling like, yes, they give you that sense of like, yes, I'm awakening to something new. I'm hearing a new perspective in a way that I haven't heard before, or this is confirming what I heard already. I've already heard this truth, but now she's saying it in a new way, or today in a way that feels like confirmation. And so after our 2-hour session today, she left feeling, and I could just feel the energy from her. She was liberated. She was in her confidence. She was in her royalty. She remembered she was a child of God. She knew that she had mistakenly and blindingly and unknowingly, which is why it's completely okay, and we don't blame ourselves, and we don't need to take full responsibility for that, because or you can take responsibility, but we don't need to blame ourselves or feel bad or judge ourselves for having been blindly led by a parent who was trying to actually murder us, to try to lure us into something and take and steal and destroy our lives. The harshness of the words is meant to harshly wake you up. Okay, no more blindedly allowing these thoughts, these feelings to influence you to a point where you are feeling like you are going to lose in your life. You're not going to get what you want. You're not going to experience the love that you want. You have to live in a state of fear. You have to feel unsafe in your world. You should not have to feel unsafe. And I know the 3D can appear to be unsafe, but again, remember, the 3D is a byproduct of the energetics, of the spiritual influences. So if you see something scary in your 3D, it's a product of a darker force in the spiritual realm that materialized in the 3D. And the darkness is just an illusion. The darkness is distorted light, right? Demons are fallen from grace. They started in grace. They started in the light. They started in love. They've just fallen from grace. And so for me to know that means they're not scary, because they're just distorted light. They're lost. They're lost. Okay? Which means that they can't overpower someone that's found. They can't empower your light body, your spirit body, who you are as a light being. They can't empower you, because distorted light isn't stronger and more potent than light, right? Light can penetrate the darkness. Light can penetrate the distortion. So that's why it's not scary. Even if it appears scary in your real world, in your 3D world, it's not scary, because there's another real world, a spiritual realms where all of these things are happening and you're winning. You're on the right side. You're on the light side. So nothing can overtake you if you don't allow it. And just like the enemy and demons have tactics, so do you. Use your light tactics. Use your tactics to refuse and make the darkness flee from you. It's totally possible. Use your tactics to protect yourself, or to blast through anything that seems scary. But again, it's just an intimidating tactic. It's not real. I really want you to be firm in that. I really want you to know how strong and powerful you are in God, how strong and powerful you are in your spirit body, and knowing that the lies, the distortions, the deceptions, when you expose them, that's all the work that you need to do. The exposure is it. And then after they're exposed, just reminding yourself that you don't need to go back to your blinded state. You can stay awakened, and it's just the maintenance of staying awake through this journey. The client I worked with, I told her to use a tactic, just say the word Jesus, and it will flee from you. You don't need to use that word if that word triggers you in any way. You can use any word, you can use anything, okay? You can sage, you can pray, you can say what you need to say, do what you need to do, but use something that you know is going to protect you. And if you don't know it's going to protect you, try it out and see, okay? Trial and error here is the key to this. I've had to trial and error many tactics to make the demonic forces flee from my thoughts, from my emotions, from my assumptions, even from the people that I interact with. You have the power, you have the key, you can do this. Let's wake up and let's live the lives of our dreams and let's manifest everything we desire. You got this. Love you. Mwah. Bye.